Hello again, welcome back everyone. LiquorHound here with you, and thank you for joining me once again for another spirit review video. Here in 2021, I'm going to be aiming at releasing a new video review for you every 2 weeks on Thursdays. And I'm going to be using my Patreon channel as the launch pad for those videos. So if you want to see these videos 2 weeks early, kind of get that little head start on finding bottles, you can always join us over there at patreon.com/LiquorHound. Of course, I appreciate all my YouTube viewers, so regardless of platform, I'm glad you're here. Now, today we're going to be taking a look at the Alberta Premium Cask Strength Rye. This whiskey made its U.S. debut just a couple months ago. I still see it on shelves. I know it's surprising because it was, limited, and it was only $55, $75 depending on your store. Should have been closer to $55. But, this Cask Strength Rye is 100% rye whiskey, so there's no grain distillate in here as some other Canadian whiskeys might do. This was kind of Alberta Premium's example to kind of showcase what a full-strength Canadian rye should be. And they're talking about how they're trying to kind of like re-emerge Canadian whiskey into the market and showcase what it really can be. All right. So let's go ahead and get to the tasting notes on it, because other than the sheer fact that it's a minimum of 5 years old and 100% rye, they really don't tell you too much more. Matter of fact, if you turn it around the back, they give you some real basic tasting notes talking about it being exceptionally smooth, caramel, vanilla, hint of chocolate, balanced with spiciness of rye, and black currant. Yeah, those are pretty basic. Let's see if we can get some more information out of the glass. Now, I will say about this bottle, when I first cracked it, it was very, very tight. In other words, the nose was very muted. It just wasn't presenting itself very well. So when I first poured it, it really needed about 5-10 minutes to come around. As you get the bottle again down past that shoulder, it gets a little air in there, it'll really tend to mellow out within probably about 2 to 3 weeks. I know we had tasted a buddy's of mine bottle that he had open longer than mine. We could tell a significant difference, so just keep that in mind if you get one of these bottles, all right? So here we go, sitting in the glass a few minutes. Let's give it a check here. On the nose. Caramel, yes, but it is also a little burnt. There's like a little burnt brown sugar going on. I guess I should rephrase that, because that's basically what caramel is, correct? But it's caramel that's been burnt just a little too much, okay? So we're starting to get this kind of smoky char, almost heading into molasses characteristic on it. Red apples. It does almost have, this is going to sound a little strange, but it almost has a grape must or kind of like a grappa characteristic to the nose, because it's almost red apples, grape skins. A little beneath those, there's a little bit of a bright red cherry. Ooh, there definitely is cinnamon and a little star anise in here. Yep. And as I go around the glass at different levels, because again, if you're going to get your nose deep into a 132 proof whiskey, make sure you part your lips, kind of breathe in through both your mouth and nose. Yeah, there it is, sweet vanilla coming off the barrel. So if you've ever smelled directly from one of those whiskey barrels, and you get that real sweet vanilla kind of whiskey aromatic, that definitely is a big and bold in this whiskey. This kind of has a little bit of that red licorice going on. A little hint of clove in there with the spices. That star anise, the cinnamon, just a little hint of clove. Still kind of trying to get past that big apple, grape skin, bright cherry tone. See what else is back in there. And there's a little hint of, there is a little hint of chocolate shavings on the nose out here on the edge of the glass, where you start kind of sensing the oak, that vanilla. All right. Yeah, all right, let's give it a taste. Wow. Wow, yeah. Boom, that's the first little sip. And it's massive. Okay, here we go. This is the one we judge. Second sip. Medium high viscosity. I do like that about it. It's really rich. Enters, gives you that big caramel, brown sugar tone right up front. It gets joined right away by that kind of grape skin, red apples. That hits really early in a big way. Right there behind it, you get all those rye spice characteristics coming in. So it rushes up front with it. It actually kind of almost eases on the palate, on the mid palate there. The spices kind of back off. You're starting to focus a little more on the floralness of that rye grain. I pick up notes of, let's say, a little bit of like violets, a little hint of dried lavender, in with all those spicy characteristics. Boom, red apples, yep. Grape skins, almost plumminess. That big cherry is feeling very natural. Fortunately, I was worried it was going to come off artificial. It does not. Yeah, here comes the easing of the spice. Now we're gaining the chocolate on the back end. There is a lot of chocolate, dark chocolate. Little hint of leather. And the oak is staying pretty sweet. That vanilla tone that kind of runs underneath everything. You kind of pick that up on the very back end with the oak. I like how nicely melded the rye is with everything else. So it definitely showcases rye whiskey. You're getting the floral tones, you're getting those big spices, you're almost getting that kind of doughy rye bread aspect to it as well. Big caramel and brown sugar to kind of help ease everything as you're getting rushed with all the fruits off that rye early on. Here on the back end, I'm still kind of taking it all in. I'm still picking up the red apples, those plums, and the grape skin component. You could almost talk me into saying like it's a slightly underripe plum, where you kind of get that tartness to the skins. We could just go with that along with the cherry. Overall, it's a really nice whiskey. I like what it does. It does seem a little kind of, front heavy with how it hits, and then the finish, you could tell it is younger whiskey, like they said, a minimum of 5 years. So we're not getting that really super long, heavy, complex finish. But what it's doing very well. And the finish does go on thanks to the 132 proof. So there's a lot of oils left in here, a lot of flavor that's just really lingering. It's not too oak driven. But wow, yeah, really, really well done by them. For only $55, I really enjoy it. Now the reason I have the water here, because I kind of wanted to see, I haven't done this yet, so we're going to really find out what's going on here. That right there was about, I would say about 20 drops worth of water. But I really wanted to cut it down and see what happens to it. See if the viscosity, I'm curious if the viscosity is going to change, or the fruits, or the spices, or maybe the rye is going to jump out. Of course, when you add water, you need to always give it a minute, kind of blow that glass out a little bit, because the spices are going to jump initially. And if there's heavy oak, that would jump as well. But of course, in this one, probably going in used barrels, being fairly young, we're not pulling a ton of oak. Okay, wow, man. The cherry and the red licorice really kind of jumped up. The plum skins kind of backed off. Red apple is still holding about where it was without water. But I would say almost the sweetness level, the candied aspect to the vanilla and the cherry have now bumped up. There is a little more, there's a smidge more oak with the water. But that's kind of welcome, to be honest. Alright, let's give it a try. Oh wow, yeah. Nice. Now we're starting to see it balance a little more to me. You know, up front, without the water, it kind of everything rushed forward. With the water, it seems like the mid palate has kind of pulled some of those flavors back in line. So I actually like the viscosity still staying about the same. It's just the way it enters. It kind of ramps up slowly to that mid palate with the spice and the rye. That little floralness, that doughiness of the rye is coming through. But the red apples and the way the plums come in with that cherry riding right up to the swell on the mid palate. And then on the back end, we start getting those shaved dark chocolate. You start getting that little leather, that light vanilla and oak. Oh, yeah, really good rye characteristic, though, throughout the whole thing. Is it, I don't even know if I even want to mention this. You know, one of my bars for Canadian whiskeys for a long time has been the early release of Lot 40 Cask Strength. Love that bottle. Pure example of Canadian rye. This is with water and with a little time for it to open up. Gets very close to that. Not quite as complex as I remember the old Lot 40, but really close. And I think it's half the price of what the Lot 40 was. So at $55, that's a really good deal here. So if you see it out there, I recommend picking this bottle up. I think you're going to really enjoy it. Again, I went 2 dropperfuls. You could easily put this on a rock. If you want to put it on ice, you can. But I think this could handle probably another 2 dropperfuls and still maintain a lot of good rye characteristics. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video review. Thank you as always for joining us here. Of course, again, if you can, join us over at patreon.com, get that little 2-week head start. But if not, no worries. You're greatly appreciated here on YouTube. Keep leaving all those great comments. I'll get to them just as soon as I can. Everyone have a great day, and cheers.